I'm Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is Dee.
The reason why we have on mask tonight is because of COVID protocol that
Because
my wife is pointing toward me. You're so cute. Because
that's a distraction.
Well, y'all know I'm an introvert.
No, you're not.
I'm an extrovert. She's an introvert. And I'm not an introvert. And so I got invited first to
He goes everywhere.
a party.
I don't go anywhere that I have to take my mask off.
A party gala event on Thursday.
And danced out of his clothes.
And I danced and I danced. When they put on that Marvin Gaye, you got to give it up. I had to dance. So I had to breathe. So I had to take my mask off a couple times to breathe. And then yesterday, a dear friend, she had invited me. She's from Louisiana. And she had invited me some months ago to her New Year's gumbo. I love gumbo. I'm a foodie and I'm an extrovert. Well, she had a gumbo party right after, like, the first part of January. And at that point, I was on a Daniel fast with my church. So I said, sorry, I can't come. I can't indulge because I'm on this fast. No need me coming. So she called me and said, it's Mardi Gras time. She called me earlier this week. It's Mardi Gras time, and I'm cooking up a big thing of gumbo with crab legs and the whole thing, shrimp and the whole thing, and it's going to be Sunday at 3:30. Can you come? I said, yeah, I can come. Dee, on the other hand, said, no. I don't go anywhere where I got to take off my mask. Well, I went to the party and had some gumbo. I had to eat it right there. So everybody, sitting at the table. And it was delicious. Delicious. Oh, my God. It was good. And left. Well, today I got a call from...
That was yesterday.
Today I got a call from the daughter of the lady who made the gumbo saying her mother had gotten sick this morning. They tested her and she was positive for COVID. Yay. So...
Missed the party all the time.
I tested myself. I'm tested negative. I got no temperature, but
it's too soon to determine that.
That's true. So I'll be in COVID protocol for a couple of days till I get past this and get back to partying all the time. But I'll be more careful. I just tell people to put it in a container and I bring it home. So, the lesson is, thank you, Velton, my man Velton. The lesson is, you can't assume or be too close or just, this thing ain't over yet. But I'm going to be healthy. I don't have no parts of it.
But everybody said they have been vaccinated and boosted, right? Everybody there.
Well, what that got to do with it?
So how does somebody get COVID? It doesn't mean you can't get it, is what I'm getting at.
I guess that's what it means. So, or somebody could have asymptomatic or whatever. So, that's why we got on mask. Yeah, Terrence, it's about 5 days for the quarantine time now. So, hey, we're grateful. Anyway, welcome everybody who's joining us.
You had to be quarantined from your wife.
Just for a day or two till I can get the test. Then I can squeeze up on you. So like if I was traveling. Now, look, we're going to talk about this topic because it's come to our attention that, hey, Mark Downs, you're right, we live in interesting times. So we got to put on masks at home because the brother had to go get some gumbo. And I had to go to a party. but I was getting it on. Oh my goodness, I was getting it on.
Okay, let's get to
Anyway,
the topic.
this is a very important topic because we've had a number of people who've reached out to us and we've had conversations with, and we've learned about people who are in misery.
So it's really ongoing. You just,
in marriage, misery in marriage.
So this is quite an interesting topic.
Yes, sir. So why don't you tell the topics? Because I want to make sure everybody
got it. The topic is got marriage misery.
Got marriage misery, like got milk? Well, you got marriage misery? All right.
So we have some signs.
What are the signs?
That you can check off if you like. This is a little entertaining as to how do you know if it's an unhappy marriage?
Right.
Here's some of the signs.
Here's some of the signs.
And some solutions.
And what you can do about it, okay?
If you want to.
Yes.
All of it comes down to if you want to make it work.
Correct. If you want to make it work. And so that's what we want to talk about tonight. Marriage, got marriage misery? And if so, what are the signs?
What are some of the signs and what can you do about it?
And what can you do about it? And this came to us as a result of some conversations. We recommend and invite people to send their questions, concerns, situations to us by email, info@williejolly.com. Oh, I didn't even tell people, we might have some first timers here. First timers! We're at the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we've got a number of people who sent us emails the last week. Are your books in Amazon? I mean, are they in Borders? Not Borders. Barnes and Nobles, Walmart. We're working on that, but they're not there yet. So if you want the book, you go to jollymarriage.com, or Amazon. Either one will do. But if you go to Jolly Marriage, we give you a discount if you buy 2 copies, which is what we recommend. We give you a great discount on the second copy so the 2 of you can read it at the same time. So we highly recommend that. And you can get our bundle, which is 2 books, 2 workbooks, an audio book, and a seminar on CD. So we're the Jollies. Welcome to our show.
And our topic is got marriage.
Got marriage?
Misery.
Misery?
Yes.
Got marriage
so it's
misery?
Kind of funny. But
yeah.
It's sad.
It is.
And so we've looked at the marriage therapists all agree that most marriages are going to encounter some kind of what they call rough spots.
Rough patches.
We had a rough patch.
We had a rough patch early on.
In our first 2 years.
Those first couple of years were rough.
We were trying to figure out how to communicate.
Yep. And
learning about each other and the fact that you were cheap.
Oh, how did you just throw that in? That's gaslight! No,
that's not definite. We're not talking about that.
We don't talk about that yet.
But we're learning.
Shade!
Yes. We're learning about each other.
We were learning about it. But you see how she dug that one in and you were cheap. I am cheap and I was cheap.
We're learning about each other. That's the first 2 years, and we were learning how to talk to each other so that
frugal is a better word.
Okay, frugal.
Thank you.
I like cheap.
Anyway. Except, if I didn't care, show that big old, show that ring costs as much as my car. Okay, so
Lord have mercy.
I want to make sure I'm clear that I am frugally, what's the word?
Frugally extravagant.
Extravagant.
Yes,
right.
dear.
Or extravagant.
I agree.
Right. Okay.
I agree. Okay.
Okay.
So the first couple of years, we had to learn how to talk to each other.
Yes.
And share our hearts with each other so the other person actually understood the other person.
Yes.
I think that's very important to say.
Yes.
And we were always kind to each other, and we learned those things that bothered each other so we would not go there.
Correct.
And we would not go there because we cared about each other.
Yes.
And the goal was to never hurt the other person.
Correct.
I think that's very important because in many of the situations where people talk to us, they're
trying to hurt it.
And they want to hurt the other person.
They're trying to hurt each other.
So we never had that kind of situation where we wanted to hurt the other person. Okay. So rough patches are normal. but you can overcome it if you want to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you've got some outrageous
Look,
things.
I got some funny.
Marriages.
I found Dee sent it to me, and it's so funny. It's a humorous take on
a very serious situation.
A very serious situation, but it's humorous. How to have a miserable marriage in 10 easy steps. Number one step to have a miserable marriage. If you're trying to have a miserable marriage, number one step is marry for the wrong reason. We say that in chapter number 1 of our book, Friends First. People get married for all sorts of reasons. To get a green card, because somebody had a big house, or somebody had a fancy car, somebody made a lot of money, or somebody had boom, boom, bam, bam. They got married for the wrong reason, and that's an easy way to get up into a bad, unhappy marriage. Now, if you want to have an unhappy marriage, step number 2 is expect your spouse to complete you.
What does that mean anyway?
And
that's like the movie.
Yeah. So this one is the fact that people are waiting for somebody else to
make them happy.
And they're putting all their energies into that person because they expecting this person to be, fairy tale. Boom, and everything is perfect. It don't work like that. And that's setting you up for unhappiness. Step number 3. Make no effort to actually communicate. You holler at each other, you scream at each other, you stonewall, you go to the silent treatment, you stamp collect. All of that's in our book, and that's a chapter we give away, the communication chapter. Go get it free at ajollymarriage.com, jollymarriage.com. Go get the free chapter. Or winwithwillie.com. Just hit the marriage icon, winning marriage. The heavy sigh, the rolling of the eyes, a disinterested tone, a pouty silence, all of that kind of thing. The next one, step number 4, if you really want a miserable marriage, never admit it's your fault. You always right. Oh my God. And that's what we've dealt with. Always right. You got to be always right.
I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, but in my humble opinion, when somebody always has to be right, I believe they're suffering from insecurities.
Here we go.
You in turn are going to say to me, Dee,
you don't know what their reasons.
Know what their reasoning is.
You don't know what their reasoning.
Why is it so hard for somebody to say, you're right, or I made a mistake?
They got issues. I don't know what the issue. But you can't.
Right.
No.
They're insecure.
There you go. There we go. All right. SBI. Anyway, step number 5, if you want to have a miserable marriage, fight often, and you're always fighting to win. Your win, they lose. It's a win-lose, win-lose. That's always going to be a problem. The great marriages we talk about are always win-win. We both want to walk away from it winning.
Well, that's because you care about your partner. So you don't want to win and slay them.
No.
Right?
That's correct. If you want number 6, if you want to have a miserable marriage, here's step number 6. Use sex as a weapon. Probably to punish your spouse. Woo-hoo. Oh, Lord have mercy. Using sex as a weapon is a bad idea, but it will break up a marriage quick, fast, in a hurry. Step number 7, if you want to have a miserable marriage, here's one that really was funny. Have a different financial philosophy than your partner. One is save, I want to save. The other one is I want to spend. Whatever it is, y'all got different financial philosophies.
So we talked about that, and that's a recipe for disaster financially because you're not communicating about money.
Right.
And what are some of the main reasons that people break up? Sex, money, and communication.
Sex, money, communication.
So you have to be on the same page, but most people don't think about the financial part before they get married. But I think if you're older and you marry, you're both bringing different financial perspectives to the table because you each manage your own household.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So you've got probably mortgage note, college debt, and you paid it off, but you've had to deal with budgeting and planning issues. So that should be an easier topic of conversation.
It should be. Number 8, if you want to have a miserable marriage, you make the kids you make the kids a tool, a pawn in your marriage, and either you fight over how you're going to raise them, or you say your way of raising them is the only possible way that you could have a successful child.
So that's a cultural difference.
And let me give you an example of that. When our son, that we were moving in this house, our son was a little fella. Time for him to go to school. I mean, he had been to daycare and then the nursery school and all that. But time for him to go to first grade or whatever. There's a school right out our door on the corner, next to the corner. Okay, we'll go out the front door, down the street. On the corner, there's a school, big old school. I said that works for me. It's public school, free. It's up the street. I'm with that. That's where we should send them. My wife said, nope. Former educator, former teacher. She said, I got the school. It's in Temple Hills, Maryland. That's about 40 minutes away, and it's private, a Christian school. The tuition was X. We were only making Y. I said, but that's right. Look here. Boy, need to go across the street. She said, no. This is a school where he should go get good foundation, good this and that, Christian values, da-da-da. And, we weren't tracking on the same page. But
you listen to me.
I listened to her. Because one, I trust her. She's brilliant, she's bright, she's erudite, and she had thought it through. I said, okay, we'll figure out a way to pay for it.
And planned it out.
We had to eat beans.
So it was a Christian school.
We had to eat tuna fish.
And I drove him the 40 minutes every day.
Every day. She went 40 minutes one way, and then she came back
halfway back, because I was working on Capitol Hill.
Capitol Hill, she worked, and then she'd go back and get him and bring him all the way back.
Come back to Capitol Hill to work however many hours. And he slept on the sofas. He ate at the receptions and learned so much and interacted with so many different people.
So, and fast forward, he goes to private school his whole life. And
that's because I had decided, and I explained to you that I had to pick my battles.
Yep.
And having been in education in the DC schools, I already knew what I wanted in terms of an educational environment. And I would rather eat beans and tuna than to have to go to school every day and fight in terms of class sizes, in terms of the individualization of instruction, and just in terms of the overall values.
Okay,
and I wanted to be able to select that.
So I come to fast forward even more. My son's now an attorney. He's been to William and Mary. He's been to Howard Law. He's doing really great. He's got a great job, and his foundation was well set and well prepared for his future success. So I had to learn that, you know what? I don't have all the answers, and I do trust her. And we work through this. Mark Down says communication seems to be the overarching theme. You're absolutely right. Here's another one. If you want to have a miserable marriage, have an affair.
I think an affair can be an excuse.
Now, there are different types of affairs.
Oh, okay.
The bitter affair. Here's what with the bitter affair. This option raises the most ill will between you and your partner because it's with someone who your spouse knows, i.e., their best friend, their sister, their cousin, their something like that. Okay, the bitter affair. Then there's the baffling affair. where you'll keep your partner's head spinning by choosing someone to have an affair with who is a complete opposite of what you usually do. They are low down, they tacky, they uneducated, they got dirty mouths, whatever. And then there's the budget affair. You don't want to spend time and money on whining and dining, so you're just having an affair with somebody cheap. You
I
might
never heard it put like that before.
just somebody you can pick up on the street cheap or something. I don't know, but
oh my God.
All right. And then the last one, if you want to have a miserable marriage, fall in love with your computer more than your spouse. Avoid communicating with your spouse because you're always on your computer or on your phone, or you're always running over.
I don't know what you're doing on your computer.
Over there, I got, you want to do that? You're going to have a miserable marriage. And then there's one more they didn't talk about that which we're now coming through these conversations that we had about miserable marriage. When you don't value your spouse or make them feel valued. You're going to have a miserable marriage. When you don't make your spouse feel important, like they are important and number one in your life, something is
and
big.
they say it is important to them that you value them.
That you make them feel important. And
you know
don't.
what? But then that means they don't value you. So now what? What you going to do?
Well, you're going to have a miserable marriage. It's going to be miserable. Because, look, we go back to what we say in the book. This is foundational. Women need intimacy and security. Gentlemen, if you just figure that out, that women need intimacy and security. And men need...
And you should ask them, what does security look like to you? Because it looks like different things.
It might look like different things, but you want to know and you want to ask them. You want to give it.
Time and attention.
Yep. Or their love language.
Could be paying all the bills.
What their love language. Yep.
What is their love language?
Yep.
And now, if you care about them, you're going to...
And men and women,
but you're going to find out.
And women, we talk about it in the book. Men need two things: sex and respect. Very important. Men need to feel a sense of respect. You don't have to agree with them all the time. They don't have to win. Just let them know that you respect them. As men, it makes a big difference.
And how do you show that respect in terms of how you talk to them?
Well, how you talk,
how you communicate,
right? And how. Let's go back to your parents. Mm-hmm. Your mother respected your father publicly. She respected it, but privately she ran everything. She ran everything. Huge thing. So security, gentlemen, make your wife feel secure. Oh man, just let them know that they're important, that they're special, that they're number one.
The same thing. You have to do that for your husband too.
Yeah. Husbands and wife, but you ask them what is it. We've asked
what's important to you.
Yeah, we asked y'all for Valentine's Day to ask your spouse for something that you could give them that didn't cost any money. Something you could give them that did not cost any money. And we've gotten so many people said that had such a profound impact on them. So we hope that you will take advantage of that. Okay, look, for those who are joining us late, also, the reason we got our mask, I'm in COVID protocol because I was around somebody who tested positive.
Because he had to have gumbo. Okay, let me add to this very quickly because you're running out of time.
All right.
On the serious side, because you did the humorous side.
I did the humorous side.
Okay, signs that you're in an unhappy marriage. There's constant criticism. Can't you find something positive to say about your mate? Huh?
Wow.
You look so healthy this morning.
You can find something. Somebody said I saw it in the paint. I saw it in one of these columns that I don't have anything good to say about my husband. What? You couldn't say anything? The lady said, couldn't you at least say that it was good you woke up this morning? Something positive. Something
Thank you
uplifting.
for helping to pay the bills. If you don't pay all the bills, thank you for.
Find something that you can say good
And it's a
about.
perspective. It's
That's
a
right.
perspective.
Right.
Okay, you like this one. The relationship is sexless.
That's a problem. Problem.
So if you're not communicating,
But you hold up. We have met somebody in the last few months who told us that it was sexless, but they're doing fine because they got an understanding.
they have an understanding,
Okay.
and there are other health challenges.
Okay. All
and
right.
they have worked that out.
They work through
Okay,
it.
so
Okay.
that's an exception.
Okay.
Okay, you struggle to spend time together.
You don't have a date night?
You don't have a date night. You're not trying to get a date night, and you're like, being
I'm busy.
around your spouse repels you.
Woo!
Okay.
That's gonna be bad.
And next one, you stop sharing wins with each other. You say, what does that mean? That means like when something goes well, you want to tell somebody that you care about.
Yep.
So they can be cheering you on and happy for you too. But you don't want to tell your spouse even when things have gone well for you. That says they're not even your best friend.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And you get defensive. You're both defensive.
You're defensive.
You fight about what?
You fight. You said what? What? I mean, we've gotten commentaries from people on all sorts of stupid stuff. Stupid! I tell them, look, first of all, we tell them, we are not marriage counselors. That's first. We are marriage mentors. And we're going to tell you, not you did this and you that. No, we're going to tell you, this argument is stupid. Now,
you didn't do your chore. You're supposed to take out the trash. And you didn't take out the trash. Well, don't remind me again. I'm going to do it.
And you, the reason you keep asking me because you are, what was the word? Yeah, you're self-conscious. No, you're I'm trying to think of the word. You're insecure. You're insecure, and that's why you keep bugging me.
And sometimes I think people just stop talking. They just say foolish stuff.
Stupid stuff.
Okay. You daydream about leaving.
We heard this one recently.
Or happier times before you were married.
Oh, I was so happy before I met you.
And that actually came up in conversation.
And it's sad. It's sad. So
you're daydreaming about being single.
But this can be fixed. See, this can be fixed. This can be fixed.
If you want to. If both. Okay.
Well, it can be fixed. But it can be fixed. It can be fixed. Yes or no? Yeah. Yes. That's all I want to say. It can be fixed.
You stop arguing because you stop talking, period.
It's called indifferent. I really don't care anymore. I don't really care. When you get to that point, folks, you've got to have triage. Our book has helped people who were at that point. They had said, I'm done. And we said, just read the book. The two of you get 2 copies.
There's a change in body language. That's something else. And here's the thing that I find interesting. When they say change in body language, and we noticed that even with Zoom, we were talking with couples, like you don't sit even though you had gumbo. And we're in COVID protocol. We don't turn our backs to each other.
No.
And talk away from each other.
No. It's body language.
Stop. Right.
Yep.
And you feel contempt for each other.
That's bad.
That's ugly.
That's ugly. When you got contempt for the other person, that's bad. We talk about it as stonewalling, and that's in our book. Stonewalling, one of the 4 horsemen, is bad. And what are the horsemen? They're in the book. We talk about them in the book, the 4 horsemen. That stonewalling, shutting down, I'm not talking to you, stamp collecting. All of these are just, they're not good.
But it can be changed if you want to, badly enough.
We said it last week. We're going to say it one more time about Johnny Parker.
Johnny Parker said,
there's 3 things. You got to humble yourself. Each one of y'all got to be willing to humble yourself. You got to own it. You got to own your stuff. If you don't own your stuff will own you. You got to own.
That means you messed up.
I messed up, or I got some issues I got to work through. I own that, and I'm going to work through it. And then last thing, empathy. empathy is I can feel your pain. When you can start to feel, if my wife were to say to me, I am hurting, I'm angry, or I'm hurt, my feelings are hurt.
Because of so and so, not
whatever.
Not because of you.
Well, whatever. I would feel your pain.
Because I'm willing to explain to you what's going on with me.
Okay, here's one. What do you do when your spouse won't put their phone down long enough to listen to you?
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's a good question. Willie Larkin says you got to eliminate distractions. Here's what you do, my friend, and I'm not going to call your name because we never put out names. Here's what you do when your spouse won't put their phone down. You have a 4F conversation with them. 4F conversation. Here they are. You can't make them do it. You can't fuss them into doing it. You can't holler and scream at it. 4Fs. Be friendly. Always start every critical conversation being friendly. Be frank about how that makes you feel. You have to be able to say, that hurt my feelings when you do that. Then be fair. Say, why do you do that? And listen to their response. You might be surprised why they do that. And then last one is be focused on a win-win. Be friendly, be frank, be fair, be focused on a win-win.
Does that mean your spouse doesn't have to put their phone down 100% of the time? So maybe there's some kind of compromise.
There's a conversation that says, I'm on my phone a lot, but if you ever said to me, hey, you're not paying me any attention because you're on your phone, because we've had a conversation about it. I put my phone down. Let's talk about it. What do you want?
It's totally, I get it. I think it's totally humorous with you on the phone.
Well, yeah. But this...
your use of the phone and the fact that the phone is also a way to make a living.
Right. Okay.
So you on the phone.
I'm on the phone a lot. But
doesn't bother me.
How about if they go with the same principle? Your husband or your wife, when you're out in public, looks at other people of the other sex. I mean, we've heard people say, I've heard women say, the husband would turn his head all the way around and look at somebody's behind. Woo-wee. Now, if that bothers you, again, 4 Fs. Be friendly, be frank, be fair, be focused.
So that requires a conversation.
Be frank. How that makes me feel. How that made me feel. I felt belittled or disrespected. Okay? And one guy said, I don't mean anything. I heard him say this. I don't mean nothing by it. It's just my habit. Well, I understand that. I'm a dude. And we grew up looking at good girls and turning around. Woo-hoo! All right? But when I'm with my wife, I don't do that.
So is that a behavior you can unlearn?
Yeah, I've unlearned it. Yes, you can unlearn it because I unlearned it. If I can do it, you can do it. Willie Larkin says, should couples have a written contract? Well, I just always feel if you got to write a contract with your couple.
Well, I think I don't quite understand it. Are you saying a prenup?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you saying a prenup? My man said, "Oh, just leave them at home." Well, he's laughing at that. I don't want you to leave them. I want y'all to work it out so that y'all are like us. I don't want to go nowhere without
a contract. Does that mean a prenuptial agreement? Is that what
Willie, you saying a prenup, a written contract as to what you will do? Well, it's the old saying, Willie. The papers, the contract's only as good as people who write it. And if the person is not going to honor it, what difference does it make that you got it in writing? If they're going to not honor it,
I think it depends. I think it depends. Can I say? I think it depends upon age and stage of life. If this were an older couple, I mean, like I'm reading about, okay, Social Security age people, and many of them get together. Spouses have passed away. They each have property, children, grandchildren, and the like, and they want to spend their golden years together. But they each are bringing stuff to the table, and they want their children to have it.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
So, things and perspectives are changing. So in that case, I think a prenup is a good thing.
All right. So Willie said like a roadmap, spelling out expectations. I think that, having some
I think counseling before marriage takes
Well,
care of that.
yeah, counseling before marriage. And if you had to have it something written because y'all are making some sort of life plan together, and mark down as a kind of sort of constitution, I don't have a problem with that because it's like a business plan. If that makes you feel much better, that here's what we're going to do. We're gonna do this about the money. We're gonna do that, and when we disagree, here's how we're gonna sell it. If y'all want to do that, that's fine. We don't need it because we talk about everything. We talk about everything. Like when I got the call about, the lady had tested positive. I said to Dee, I said, hello.
Actually coming in his office to bring a paper. He said, stop.
Stop. I said, stop.
I was like, what?
Terrence said, Dr. King said you can't legislate morality. Mm-hmm. And he said the marriage license is a contract. Well, I agree with that. But if somebody felt they needed to do that, I'm okay with that. I don't need it. I didn't need a prenup. First of all, we ain't had nothing. And second, I said to you when you got married, what did I tell you? When we got married.
If I die.
There's one way out of this marriage. If you die, you're good to go. Other than that, we in it for the long haul. We ain't in it till nothing short. When I die, it's over. Okay, when you die, it's over. But other than that, we in this. We'll work through it. All right, gumbo and on. All right, folks. Well, our time is up. We did mention gaslighting.
We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that next because we're over time. But that's an
interesting
interesting concept.
In terms of how spouses or significant others can manipulate people.
Yep.
Isn't that something?
Yep, gaslighting. Y'all gonna want to hear about that one. We see y'all next week. Thank y'all. Thank you, Karen. We know one of the things we're gonna do. We've been thinking about is creating make love, make money, make it last ambassadors around the country who like Terrence. Terrence is an ambassador. Willie Larkin's an ambassador. Creating a more intentional relationship so that we can have these ambassadors who can continue to expand and expose people to the principles of what we share so we can get more people to stay married and get happily married if they not. Because we want no more got marriage misery. No, we want you to be got marriage happiness. Happy, happy, happy. All right. Thank you, Terrence. He said, I'm down. Okay, we're working on that. Hey, look, folks. Thank y'all. I will see y'all maskless next week. And I'm believing I'm fine. Okay. Amen. Amen. I'm claiming it. I'm good. And I'm double vaxxed and boosted. Praise the Lord. All right. And I read Psalm 91 every day. Okay. So I'm blessed and highly favored. See y'all later. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is Dee Taylor-Jolley.
Go to jollymarriage.com and tell your friends and family members about our show. We want everybody to be here. We out. Jolly out. Oh, we got to go out with our music. Let's go out with our music that y'all can enjoy as we go out. God bless you.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.